Hare Krishna Prabhuji, audio is not audible.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can't hear anything. Uh, Looks like you are muted, so.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, we can hear.
Something I'm learning, and my nature is such that some lessons have to be taught many times. I'm learning is one can never be too prepared in life. For this class, this session, I had prepared everything, I had studied, I was ready, and then technology has its ways of challenging us. And suddenly something will not work, my file will not open. And at these times, or times like these, the tendency is to just push through, try this and try that, and have a bead or two of sweat or become anxious, which is all that I went through for a moment. And at some point, it dawns on us to just say, Sri Ramachandra, however you like for it to be. Now, it doesn't. That's not a formula for necessarily that magic has to happen. That is Sri Ramachandra's decision. But one thing for sure that happens is the anxiety goes away. The anxiety, or as we were talking about, the grip that the conditioned soul has to controlling the situation, holding on to circumstances, things, people. The grasp is tighter and tighter when things become challenging. The practice is, that is the intention, because every practice has to start with an intention. The practice may be difficult, but the intention helps make the practice easier. Not easy, easier. The intention is important. But Sri Ramachandra, I let you be the driver, the controller. After all, a controlled being. As Sri Ramachandra accepted Vibhishana, I'm hoping that today's class will be shorter one, because I'd like to hear if you have and you'd like to offer some reflection, something you've been meditating on, especially on this topic of Sharanagati, about Vibhishana, something that you liked, has touched you, whatever questions. Because this is such a significant topic, and this is a an extremely essential aspect for us as practitioners of bhakti. What it takes for us to say, and it's a hard one to say, I've left my home, my family, my money, I've left the grasp of it, the possessiveness of it. The reason it's a possessiveness because Right after he said, I've left everything, Ramachandra asked Lakshmana to bathe him and coronate him as the king of Lanka. And Vibhishana, believe it or not, does not say, no, 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 I don't want the kingdom. Very interesting. What he wants is service. And so when Lakshmana bathes him and Ramachandra confers upon him the kingdom of Ayodhya, Vibhishana does not say no, because right now he's in the spirit of a servant. Because he had said earlier, for me, everything, my life is around you. And so now, because it is service, he understands that Ramachandra is the king. I'm just but a servant. And managing the kingdom of Lanka with knowing that I'm a servant of Sri Ramachandra. So he does not say no to kingdom. He gets his family back. He gets everything. So all the members, his money, kingdom, it's all there. It's not that it's going to go away. Most people have a fear. It's going to go away. It remains. What goes away is the proprietorship. Excellent, excellent lessons in Ramayana. So let's see if you have some reflections. But so what happened is, while this scene of surrender has just happened, there is a demon by the name Shardula. Shardula is a spy, and he has been moving within the encampment of Sugriva, and seeing all these flags of the Vanara army, very quickly went back to Ravana and reported to Ravana, oh, I have some news for you. I did some reconnaissance mission, and here's my report. I just crossed a massive ocean from where the Vanaras are to come to Lanka, but I saw another massive ocean of Vanaras and bears, and they're all preparing to come towards Lanka. At the helm of this army are the great sons of Dasharatha, Rama and Lakshmana. And they are endowed with such exquisite, beautiful forms. And they are preparing to set foot onto Lanka, or set foot on Lanka, because they want Sita Devi back. Now, that army of the Vanaras that I could assess spans over 10 square yojanas. Now, 10 square yojanas is not much. Actually, there's a much bigger army. But 10 yojanas this way, 10 yojanas that way, it's all packed. Actually, it's a much larger army. He is telling him that is a mighty army. What you should do, Ravana, is also deploy your own forces. And somehow or the other, either make peace with that army, or you create some differences in them. Because once they start disagreeing with each other and dissension, then they become weak. A standard thing that we are used to hearing, the phrase divide and conquer. You put some division in them, you put some sense of dissension, then their unity becomes weaker, and it's much easier to defeat such an army. So when Ravana heard Shardula's report, he turned to his another spy by the name Shuka. And he praised Shuka and said, oh, you're an excellent messenger, you're an excellent spy. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to where Sugriva is and give this message to Sugriva. But say it boldly, don't have any fear. but speak in a gentle way and communicate. Don't antagonize Sugriva. Don't threaten him. Be bold, but speak pleasingly. Speak gently, because we're trying to win over Sugriva here. What you have to tell Sugriva is, "Oh, Sugriva, you're the king of the Vanaras race. And you've been born to such an eminent king called Riksharaja. Between you and me, there is no animosity. I have not harmed you in any way. I am like your brother." Now, I'm like your brother means I considered Vali my brother. Since you're Vali's brother, you're like my brother. I treat you like my brother. And so, between you and me, there is no animosity. I live my life peacefully. I have a few, or I had a few, I had an embassy in um Janasthana, and your Kishkinda is not far from there. But we never had any issues. We never had any turf wars or any such problems. So, what harm have I done to you, Sugriva? Plus, I brought Ramachandra's consort here. What has that got to do with you? Nothing. You're such a wise person. You're an intelligent person. You should just go back to Kishkinda. Aham yadya haram bharyam rajaputrasya dhimatah. Oh, intelligent, wise Sugriva, I have kidnapped the prince Rama's wife. Kim Kim tatra Sugrivaha Kishkindha pratigamyatam. Just what is there for you? Go back to Kishkinda. Don't fight this war. Because if you're trying to gather up courage and bring a big army, please understand that Lanka is far away in the middle of an ocean where Gandharvas and Devas cannot enter. Then how can humans and Vanaras enter? I mean, just logically, you have no chance here. Devai parisagandharvai devair api sagandharvai kim punar vanaraihi. Then how is it possible for monkeys or simple? You don't have any mystic powers. Even those who have mystic powers cannot enter. Then what's there for you? Is this not your thing? So the message is, this is not your fight. Don't sign up for something it's none of your business. So just go back to Kishkinda and live peacefully. So as soon as Shuka heard this message, he became empowered by Ravana, and immediately he transformed himself into the form of a bird. His name is Shuka. So he's also become like a bird and rose up and flew from Lanka towards where Sugriva is. Now, yes, it says actually, Shuka flew not very high in the sky. He flew much lower, almost not that higher from where the waves of the ocean were. Because he's a bird. He's flying as a form of a bird. Plus, it also means, although it's not spoken, the dhvani is Hanuman took the path of the Charanas high up in the sky. So he's one of those planes, like planes that flies at 40,000, 50,000, or like drones that fly even higher, 60,000 feet above. While the small Cessna type planes, who doesn't have as much power in them, fly lower. So this Shuka flew at a lower altitude and came to where Sugriva was. He recognized Sugriva. After all, he's the king. So he recognized Sugriva and came and said to Sugriva everything that Ravana had provided the message. While he is hovering in the sky, conveying his message to Sugriva, all the Vanaras looked up and said, this guy is a supposedly messenger of Ravana. We don't care. So they pulled him down and started to punch him with their fists and wanted to injure him. So Shuka, once he got so violently caught and beaten up, started crying loudly because they were throwing him to the ground and thumping him and punching him. So as he was being attacked, what to do? Even a Rakshasa, who's the spy of Ravana, do you know who he calls out to? Sri Ramachandra. He says, oh, Sri Ramachandra. So even a Rakshasa, he's being hit by the, I guess, the devotees, if you will. Even when a Rakshasa who's against Sri Ramachandra calls out to Ramachandra, he has Ramachandra's grace. So Valmiki says, Vanarehi Pidyamanastu Shuko Vachanam Abravit. While he's being tortured and tortured, meaning harassed by the Vanaras, Shuka called out. He says, Kakutstha, oh Sri Ramachandra, the scion, the descendant of Kakutstha. I am being hurt by these Vanaras. Please prevent them. Please ask them to stop. I'm after all an envoy. I've come as a messenger of Ravana. Now, if a messenger does not convey transparently what the master had spoken, instead adds his own sentences, mood, threat, or whatever, then such a messenger should be killed. But I'm not such a messenger. I'm just speaking exactly what Ravana said. It's not like these are my feelings. I'm just conveying Ravana's feelings. So such an envoy should not be killed. Back in Lanka, these Rakshasas also had decided to kill Hanuman. It was Vibhishana who intervened and said, no, one should not kill. So when they heard, or when Ramachandra heard this appeal of Shuka, and he's trying to call out to Ramachandra over the yelling, shouting, and war cries of the Vanaras, Ramachandra immediately told all of the Vanaras not to kill him. He says, Ma vadhishte, do not kill him. Ma vadhishte iti ghanata shakha mugar bhasha. So he told them, please don't kill him. As soon as he said, don't kill him, all the Vanaras backed off. And Shuka's life was spared. And the monkeys also became settled. They just backed off. Then Shuka again spoke to Sugriva. He says, Sugriva, Sir, Sattva Sampannaha, Mahabala Parakramaha, Kimakhya Kula Vaktavyo, Ravano, Loka Ravanaha. So, what should I say to you, Sugriva, who yourself are Sattva Sampanna? Your presence is very mighty. Mahabala Parakramaha, you're very strong. You have great resume. You've achieved great things in life. What can I say to you? Except repeating the words of Ravana. And the meaning of Ravana is one who makes the world cry. That's right here. It's in the shloka. Kim vaktavyo, what can I say? Ravano loka ravanaha. Loka ravanaha, one who makes the world cry. So when Shuka spoke like this, Sugriva was not disturbed at all. The whole idea was to cause a little seed of dissension, or plant a seed of dissension in Sugriva's mind. But Sugriva was not at all disturbed about any of what he heard from Shuka or heard from Ravana. Instead, in very pleasant words, replied back. So he says, what? Ravana says he's like a brother and a friend to me? I don't think so. Name asti mitram. He's not my friend. Nathanukampyo natatha name asti mitram natatha anukampyona. I have absolutely no sense of compassion for him. Na chopakarta api name priyo asi. He is not someone that is very dear to me. But who is he? Arishcha. He is my enemy. Why? Ramasya. Because he is an enemy of Ramachandra, he is my enemy. Such is my relationship with the Ramachandra. You are Ramachandra's enemy, therefore you are my enemy. And you are destined to be killed just the way Vali was killed. Now, you called me a brother because I'm Vali's brother. Therefore, you say you're my brother. Actually, it's the other way around. You're Ramachandra's enemy. Therefore, you are similar to Vali because you're also Ramachandra's enemy. You two are actual brothers, not me. And Vali saw the face of death by the arrow of Ramachandra, and you too will face death soon. Ravana, it's not just you. I will kill all of your sons. I will kill all of your relatives. Bandhu. Sutam, Bandhu. Gyati. Gyati means all your relatives. Gyati Varga Rajani Charesha. Rajani Chara, all the night dwellers, one who move around, night crawlers, if you will, who move around in the night, the Rakshasas. I will kill all of your sons. I will kill all of your relatives. And Gyati means all of your uh, kinsmen, the Rakshasa race. Everyone you identify, or anyone who identifies as a Rakshasa. Now, that's also not enough. I will come again. I will come and burn your entire Lanka to ashes. Now, Lanka is already burnt. If Ravana rebuilt it, then I will burn everything that was rebuilt. And if there is whatever is remaining, it will all be burnt down just by my strength. Now, you may think, oh, if Sugriva is so powerful and he's Vali's brother, why don't I go and hide somewhere? Namokshase Ravanaha. If you are hiding anywhere, I will not spare you. And where will you go? You can go to where hide yourself outside the orbit of the sun. So from Srimad Bhagavatam, we know that the sun's orbit, the light goes all the way up to Loka mountains, Loka, Aloka mountains. And beyond that, the brightness of the sun. So you may be hiding in that darkness. Far beyond the path of the sun, I will find you there also. Well, you may decide that, oh, I will go and hide in Patala Loka, somewhere. I will pull you out of Patala. But your ultimate refuge may be Lord Shiva. Girisha Padambuja. Girisha Padambuja Sangato. You may be hiding under the feet or hiding at the feet of Lord Shiva. It doesn't matter. I will kill you there also. When he says, you will be killed, he means Ramachandra will kill you. He will not say that I will kill you, because it is Ramachandra's promise to kill him. So he said, you may be hiding at the feet of Lord Shiva. So this is where those who worship Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma as demigods or as devatas and not as Vaishnavas, they understand that even the greatest of demigods will not be able to protect when the Lord decides. Mare Krishna Rakhe ke, Rakhe Krishna Mare ke. That even Lord Shiva would back off. You may think that you're secure at Lord Shiva's lotus feet. Not at all possible. So give this message to Ravana. Ravana, nobody in the three worlds can save you. Your Rakshasa clan, no. The Danavas, no. Gandharvas, no. Gandharvas are very good at fighting. So are all the other heavenly denizens. None of them can save you from the arrow of Sri Ramachandra. If you really were thinking that you were a friend and a nice person, why did you kill that old bird called Jatayu? Why did you dare to kidnap Sita? You're telling me, this is the dhvani, this is not exactly the sentence, but the sentence just says, why did you kill Jatayu? And why did you kidnap Sita? My narration of it is, you're telling me you and I have no animosity. I should go, why did you do this? If you consider yourself such a brave person, why did you take her away when Rama and Lakshmana were not around? So that shows you're such a coward. And you did not assess the strength of Sri Ramachandra. You thought, what will a human being do to me? Ramachandra is not just a human being. He is the shining, the tilaka on the face of the dynasty of Raghu. Very, very benevolent, kind, compassionate. And when he stands to fight, even Indra cannot defeat him. He will take your life away. While all of this being spoken, now Angada is also a prince, is the next in command to Sugriva. Angada said to Sugriva, O king, we're thinking he's a messenger. I don't think he's a messenger, he's a spy. He's just dressed like a messenger. While he's standing there and speaking to you and you're speaking to him, he is also assessing the rest of the army. He's not just looking at you. Now, the dhvani part of it is, that means he's looking here and there while Sugriva is speaking. He's trying to get a sense of how strong Sugriva's army is. He says, because he's a spy and not a messenger, he should be held captive and not returned to Lanka. So Sugriva said, okay, let's do so. Suddenly, all the Vanaras caught Shuka again and put him in handcuffs. Or he's a bird, so whatever, wing cuffs, incarcerated him. Now, again, Shuka, who's being now bound up by the Vanaras, again went back to Ramachandra and cried, oh, Ramachandra, my wings are being cut off. My eyes are being poked off. I'm being injured. And if that's the case, all my sins will accrue onto you because this is how I'm being treated. Hmm? So then Ramachandra once again told the Vanaras, don't kill him. In fact, set him free because he has come as a messenger. It is better for him to go back to Ravana and give a description of what our strength is. Let him go tell Ravana what it takes to fight with us. Let him tell. So at least Ravana, this is Ramachandra's way of somewhere still hoping and giving Ravana a chance to change himself. How long does Ramachandra wait? As long as it takes. This is the greatness with which I will end. Someone who comes to his shelter, Ramachandra doesn't take any time to think about it. He just offers himself to someone who's offering themselves to Ramachandra. And for those who don't offer themselves to Sri Ramachandra, he's not in any hurry to hurt them or punish them or neglect them. He patiently, lovingly waits as long as that living entity turns their attention from being away from Bahirmukha to Abhimukha or Antarmukha. Abhimukha, face to face with Sri Ramachandra. The next chapter begins with the story in Tirupulani, where Ramachandra fasts for 3 days, lying down on Kushagaras, waiting for the ocean to give way. While here Vibhishana told him, oh, you should take Sharanagati of the ocean. Ramachandra agreed. Suddenly Shuka appears. So after this incident it's a fantastic chapter. We'll keep it for next time. Let's see if there are any comments, questions, reflections, something on this whole episode, anything at all, please share.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Jai Dhira Lalita Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, the point which really touched me is where Sugriva told to Sukha that Vali is not my brother. Vali is brother of Ravana because he is the enemy. You are also enemy of Lord Ramachandra, and so is Vali. So that point, so it means how the Sugriva is connecting himself with Lord Ramachandra than the family relative. So
Yeah.
same in our case also when we come in touch with the devotees or spiritual masters, senior devotees, and how our heart actually uh, gets more connected to these or devotees around us is something which I was able to relate to it, that as compared to we have the kind of, let's say, material relatives, and how our relation is very sweet with the devotees. That I was able to feel in the one sentence by Sugriva Prabhu. Thank you so much for narrating so nicely.
You're welcome. If I can slightly modify that, after all, our family and relatives are also very important. They're generally very kind and loving to us. Music. No. They're very generally kind and loving towards us. Um, the point we can focus on is Sugriva and Vali had some animosity on the account of kingdom or misunderstanding. But when any relationship has Ramachandra as the center of it, then that relationship becomes not only strong, but also spiritual. And that's perhaps a stronger message. Of course, we feel that the Vaishnavas are our family, no doubt about it. Absolutely. I have feelings like that too. On a broader level, what makes people become closer and sustain relationships is when the Lord is at the center of that relationship. We see each other as parts and parcels of that Supreme Lord, and that's the meaning of the connection here. So Sugriva says, I feel all of them are connected to me because Sri Ramachandra is our center of attention, service, prayer, meditation, etc. I'll tell you a story of Saint Tyagaraja at the end of this. It's a beautiful, beautiful song, but let's see if there are others who want to say something.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Address Prabhupada.
All glories. Hold on. Before you fire
Oh,
away,
I'm sorry.
I thought Dhira Lalita Prabhu wanted to say something.
No, I just said Prabhu. Thank you. That's it.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Parama Karuna.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Please accept my humble obeisances, Address Prabhupada. Sorry for that. I was not knowing. Prabhu, three things regarding the three Lalita Prabhu. What he mentioned that when we come into contact with devotees and Vaishnavas, we feel more connection with them and then our material relationship. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Prabhu. This is not my question. This is just a doubt or concern because I've gone through the same phase. Most of the time, we feel less connection with our family is because we have that material conception. We get attached to our wife's family or maybe our other's family. That's why we get take a name of devotion service to get away from our family. That hey, I don't like my family because I'm attached to devotees. But are we not attached to our wife family or not? If we are attached to our wife family, then that means we are not in the neutral position. Am I right or wrong, Prabhuji?
He didn't say anything about his wife's family.
I'm,
You're
I'm, I'm, just,
saying
I'm just I'm just saying me as in generically.
um, I would stay away from generic statements like these because each person's story of what their relationship with their family uh, is very unique. I have very close relationships with my family members. I know people who have really nice relationships with their family as practicing devotees. I know of people who have very neutral relationships. I know of people who have very cantankerous relationships with their relatives. So each person has to assess for themselves as to what is the cause and what's the issue and sort of work through that with their family members. I've also known people who have really nasty fights with devotees. So he's speaking his experience that he feels very connected to the devotees and he sees complete strangers that he did not know in his life over a few years to become very dear, so much so that he can reveal his heart and feel a strong connection with them. And that's fantastic. But each one has to assess for themselves as to why is it that I feel some connection here and no connection there. So it's each person has their own, I guess, story for it. So when we generalize, let's be careful. Not you, I'm just saying in general, be careful.
Yes. It makes so sense. No, your statement makes sense that when we connect with devotees, definitely we feel the more connection and we reveal our heart. It's difficult to reveal with our relatives. That makes clear with my mind. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. My question, Prabhu, when the spy, not spy, when the
Now,
message.
your experience may be like that. I
Yes.
know of people who may be within a group of devotees. That group can be very judgmental and they feel very safe sharing their heart with their friends who are not devotees. They feel more understood by their friends. So the issue there is not so much that, oh, what happened? What is going on? Why? It's their individual experience. Now, in a general sense, when Sri Ramachandra, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, are the center of a relationship, genuinely for everyone, relationships are sweeter, attractive because the Lord is attractive and He keeps everyone together.
Yes.
Now, even with friends and relatives, someone may feel the love and affection of the Lord in their friends. It's you have to find it somewhere. So they may feel it because something may be going on. So it's a very individual story.
It is very indeed very individual story, but connection with the devotees, as you mentioned, is more better because they are
Yeah.
connected with the Guru, Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they might give better
Yes.
advice than the. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So that from a tattva perspective, yes. Experience may be someone else's according to what's going on in their life. But yes, go ahead. You have another one to say?
Yes. So when the messenger came to Sugriva's camp, and he was dictating his message, and the Vanara became a little bit upset, and they became angry to the extent they want to kill him. But
Yeah.
it's a normal sadachar of any particular camp, even in the Duryodhan and Pandava's camp. When the messenger goes to Duryodhan camp, he never even think of killing him. So how can the pious Vanaras can even think of killing the messenger, even to the extent of Angada?
The Kauravas are human beings. These are
Oh, okay.
Vanaras. You're talking of Vanaras. Ramachandra's army is of Vanara. They're monkeys, fidgety, very like, they're just in this mood of fighting. They're Vanaras. Have you seen monkeys out there? And yet, it is Ramachandra who's keeping them all together. What's interesting is, you see Ramachandra's word. When he says, don't do it, they all listen. Monkeys can't listen to anybody. They're so like that. They're very agitated, easily perturbed, fidgety. Their attention span is like, what's the saying in, the attention span of a chimpanzee is so short. But when Ramachandra says, don't do it, they all back off. That is his greatness, that he commanded an entire army of Vanaras. There's a beautiful verse in the 9th canto, 10th chapter, I think, where Shukadev Goswami is praying, what is the greatness of Sri Ramachandra, that he gave really the lowest of beings like monkeys and bears the access to his feet, that even the great demigods like Lord Indra and Brahma cannot offer their obeisances to him, can't come close to him. Wow, what is this Ramachandra's greatness? And how can he keep a monkey army? We are human beings. Try leading a group of people, and sometimes the group goes all over the place. I guess the corporate phrase is, we're trying to herd cats, and they're all over the place. If among human beings, the culture supposedly is difficult, what to speak with monkeys? They're just in a mood to fight. They've come all this way to fight. So they're Vanaras. They're just being Vanaras. Okay?
I'll wait
Don't
for.
come. They're not wearing tilak and kantimala and sitting there like very cultured sadacharis. No.
Mm-hmm. Yes, makes sense. I'll wait for other devotees to ask a question. I have one
Please,
more.
please, please. I'm sure you do. Please hold on. Let's see. Anyone else? Any reflections? Something? No reflection. Really? Okay, Paramakaruna, go ahead, ask.
Yes, Prabhu, the reflection was in the beginning of the lecture, you mentioned how the technology was disturbing you and you were getting an anxiety, and then you took the shelter of Lord Rama. Although the problem doesn't get solved, but anxiety reduced. So, and I was just reflecting that, whoa, what a great statement, because yes, from last 7, 8 months, I'm going through a big change in my life. My father, my Guru Maharaj, and it's inconceivable for me to accept it till now. And even in the dreams, they come in my, and I feel like they are with me, and I'm shattered when I wake up. So, but I try to adjust the situation externally, but it doesn't make any sense. But when that consciousness, maybe only for a few moments in the month, that, oh, Krishna is with me, don't worry, Krishna is taking care, or whatever Krishna has planned. It gave me so much soothing relief, but it it doesn't maintain forever. Like it should be maintained. It should be a plateau. This plateau is not maintained. My question is that at what level of bhakti the devotee can get that, or the practicing sadhaka can get that plateau level.
I don't know, but I think I want to address something closer. Is the grief that you're experiencing because the loss of both your uh, father and spiritual father is a very big one. Here is Yamuna Jivana, and at least I know of him, and there might be others, who has spent a lot of time with Karuna Care, especially in grief counseling. If you're interested, reach out to him and let him help you. If he's willing and you are willing, let him help you process the grief and take it in to accept, or at least first to process it before you can accept it. I'm sure he can help. Something you can talk to him offline and see if you're interested. Because I've been, since I'm preparing on certain topic for presentation in a few months, one of the things I notice people asking in different forums, is this the right feeling? Should I be feeling this way? That question, that sort of questioning is, I would say, fallacious. It is not correct, because feelings are not intellectualized. That means I cannot sit here and say, I'm feeling sad. I think I should feel happy, and suddenly I'll feel happy. That's not how feelings are. Feelings are here. I am feeling sad. I cannot just say, oh, now I'm supposed to feel happy. Should I be feeling happy? Should I be feeling unhappy? You can only look at it, but you can't direct an experience. So you have to say, I'm feeling sad. What are some things that make me happy? Some people, some activity, whatever. That's a different feeling comes from experience. So when you change an experience, your feelings can change. But can you say, is this the right feeling? Should I be feeling like this? That question has no power in it. So if you're feeling sad, stay with it. It's part of the grieving process. And I'm not an expert at it. I know a little bit of it. As they say, I know enough to be dangerous, but go seek help. That's what I think my general advice would be: seek help. Let someone who can be loving, neutral, yet um, situated enough to help.
Thank
Don't
you.
fight it. Don't fight it on your own. Yamuna Jivana is here. If he wants to say something, he's more than welcome to. Or anyone who has some thoughts on dealing with grief. Okay, any other
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
questions? There he is.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Krishna Prabhupada.
Yeah, Nitya
Uh,
Gauranga.
Prabhuji, I have one question. So you mentioned that Ravana wanted to apply this, like divide and conquer,
Mhm.
but then the way, uh, I mean, but the message that he passed on was like he was just trying to um, tell Sugriva that, okay, you are like my brother, so you don't have to do anything, just go away. I mean, from listening to this, I felt that Ravana didn't had a very strong point here um, to persuade Sugriva to leave um to Ramachandra. So it was not very strong enough, I feel. Am I missing something here? Because it was
What
as,
what would you have said?
I don't know. I'm very curious because it was not strong, I felt, from Ravana's side. Because if you want to really divide somebody, either you allure them with something so that you will try to get their attention towards your side. But in this case, what I felt was like, okay, it was pretty straightforward. Like, okay, I didn't do any harm to you. So you are like my Wali is like my brother. So you are also, since you are Wali's brother, you are like my brother. So you go away. So I didn't feel anything very
That
strong in that.
that may be the flaw of my narration. But in the strategy of Samadana Danda Bheda,
Mhm,
Danda, he's trying to avoid the whole fight. The fight he can, but first, so Sama, he cannot pacify Sugriva. What is he going to do to pacify Sugriva? Dana, what will he give to Sugriva? Sugriva is already a king.
mhm,
So there is no Dana. So the only thing remaining for him is Bheda. He has to sow the seed of dissension. And the seed of dissension is these two are united. How
mhm,
do I break it? And their unity can be broken when I say, yeah, I have no problem with you. You and I are, so why are you fighting this war when you and I have no animosity here? It's between me and him. I brought his wife, let him. Why you? So someone may say, yeah, that's true. Why do I take up this war?
mhm,
He's just trying to sow the seed of Bheda.
mhm.
We don't feel it is strong. Partly, of course, my narration is maybe weak, but the reason it doesn't feel like a strong argument is shown by Sugriva's love for Ramachandra. That is so strong that this seems very weak.
Hmm.
If Sugriva had a little thought that, yeah, that's true, then Ravana's argument is very strong. So one of the messages Valmiki is giving us is Ravana's attempt is weak. It's failed miserably. And that's your conclusion.
Yeah, yeah,
It has failed miserably. It's
yes,
Sugriva's affection for Ramachandra.
yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.
Or the mind's allurement to someone to say, why are you with the Supreme? Why are you being a devotee? Every day waking up, following so many hardships or whatever, chanting 16 rounds and doing this and not eating that. Just live a life peacefully, enjoy that. And the devotee says no. So the strength which the devotee says no weakens the impulse of the mind towards something. And I'm no expert at speaking at this one, but that's the principle. So it seems very weak.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu.
So
Glad.
you have the right conclusion. That's correct.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah,
weak because Sugriva
yeah.
is very strong. Sugriva's love for Ramachandra is very strong. Okay. Someone's been raising their hand. Gayatri.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This is Prechana.
Hi,
Um,
Priyachan. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course.
Prabhu, I had a question. Like, was this conversation supposed to be in private with Sugriva, and because Shuka called out to Lord Ramchandra, so is this that this whole conversation is happening in front of Sri Ramchandra, that he's trying to convince Sugriva?
At least we don't see that Ramachandra was not there. So we don't know in terms of distances how far, but
Mhm.
we are assuming they're all together. And he's addressing, not Ramachandra, he's addressing Sugriva.
Okay, but here he's also here. I was thinking it was really very, like when you were mentioning that Ramchandra is not putting any pressure on Ravana, but he's also waiting. He's not giving up the hope upon living entities, right? Like,
Hmm.
so this was really very nice, and the way you explained the whole thing about how Vibhishana is, being considered with in front of all the Vanaras, and still Lord Ramchandra accepts. This last 2-3 weeks has been so amazing, just thinking about that,
Mhm.
how merciful the Lord is, and how patient he is. It's so amazing, Prabhu. Thank you.
That's because Vibhishan is such an amazing personality. So when we're coming to Chicago, the episode that we're going to do with Jyotirmaya and Sachisuta and their son Shripati is Vibhishana Sharanagati, set to
Oh,
song, music. Yeah,
I can't wait.
I
Uh,
can't wait either.
It's so amazing, because somehow the last few weeks also whatever I've been picking up, it's automatically also showing about Sharanagati, and
Yeah.
it's just been so amazing. Like, and I was recently hearing something from Radhanath. Like I was saying, like automatically something in my, like how AI and the YouTube is listening, they're showing up only lectures about surrender and things like that. Maharaj was saying he made in that particular class repeats so many times that the whole point of every circumstance is to just for us to surrender. Like even in
Yeah.
the start of the class that you were mentioning, I was thinking it was so poignant in a way Ramchandra's play to kind of practically show this whole thing. Yes,
Something that we spoke, I think, in the last 2 weeks, and it has definitely made an impact on me in a small way, is the surrender is not giving up things or giving up some things. It's about the loosening of the grip that I have on whatever it is, the things, people, circumstances, controllers. Is that's the surrender that
mm,
I'm, after all, a tiny being. I am under the grip or protection of Sri Ramchandra. Things are not under my protection and grip. And it's a hard lesson, no doubt about it. It's hard for me for sure. But
yeah.
it's a lovely process.
And I really love the point that you were touching upon this this morning in my service. Also, I was hearing Prabhupada say the same, that the best thing that we have is that we can aspire or ask for service. And
Mm.
Prabhupada was saying like how it's Mahaprabhu's mercy that he has given this process where we can ask for ahaituki pratihata, like always service life after life. Somehow this whole thing has been so amazing in terms of everything that I'm listening is coming along only in this topic. Thank you, Prabhu.
Someone asked when it is. It is during, oh yes, it is during Sri Rama Navami. That's, I think, 5th and 6th of April. 5th is in Schaumburg, Palatine area.
Correct.
In the morning, I think from 10:30 to 12:30 or so. I think from 10 to 1 is the program. Our part is from 10:30 to 12:30, I think. And the evening will be most likely in Grays Lake, where we'll do
Yeah.
either the story of the crow that was bothering Sita Devi, or Sita Rama Kalyanam for sure. And then Sunday also there is a program, and we'll do, so we have three topics: Sita Rama Kalyanam, Kakasura or the crow story, and Vibhishana Sharanagati. So the other two will see which works out, how or which location. But that's the plan for that weekend. Okay, Tyagaraja's story.
Yes.
Because let me remember what the story. So in this life of Sri Tyagaraja, the reason I brought it up is one of my favorite songs. And today's class about feeling connection to the devotees is important because that is the family. So Tyagaraja, if you know the story, is to live in abject poverty. He had nothing with him, nothing. But he wrote in his lifetime about 24,000 songs on Sri Ramachandra. At one point in life, because his fame has spread like anything, Sri Ramachandra, Sita Devi, and Lakshmana want to do something for him, but he never asks for anything. So they appear as a rich couple and the rich couple's assistant or servant, and they supposedly are traveling from one place to another, and they come to Tyagaraja's home with the excuse that we are travelers and we would like to go from one place to another. We don't have the place for the night. We're wondering if we can stay at your place. And Tyagaraja is like, oh, you're pleased, more than welcome. Uh, so they come. Tyagaraja has nothing in his house, just a straw mat on which Sita and Ramachandra are sitting. Hanuman is on the side. So this man, Sri Ramachandra, who's dressed up like who's a rich man, says to Tyagaraja, "I've heard so much about your songs, and your fame has spread everywhere. But I'm wondering, if you are so famous like this, why are you living like an orphan? You have absolutely your brother who's next door. You and he fought with each other, so you don't have any relatives. You're living like an orphan here." As soon as he hears you're living like an orphan, Tyagaraja picks up his tambura and on the spot composes this song. It's a famous song, Sitamma Mayamma. He says to that man, "No, no, I have a very big family. Sita Devi is my mother. Sri Ramachandra is my father. Hanuman, Shatrughna, Bharata, Shukadev Goswami, uh, Shuka, Shaunaka, all these great sages are my relatives." And then he gives a list of people: Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, this one, that one, all the previous acharyas, devotees who have walked on this earth are all my dear friends. So, oh my dear mind, I am not alone. I have a very, very strong, fantastic family. Sita is my mother, Ramachandra is my father. That is his realization of how he is not alone. Very beautiful song. So that's the story. Okay, let's end. It's 9:37. Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you. Until we meet again next time, Sri Ramachandra is lying down on a kusha mat waiting for Sagara to show up, or Varuna to show up. Will it be possible? Will Varuna come or not? Let's find out. Until then, may Sri Sita Ramachandra be our mother and father, or father and mother, mother and father, Sita and Ramachandra. Hanuman, Bharata, Lakshmana, Shatrughna, all of them lovely family members, and all the wonderful devotees, our extended greater family. We feel part of, and they are part of my family. Thank you. Sita Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman.